By the title, Urban Ghost Stories. And let me tell you, it's Halloween and I got ghost stories for days. I got stories for you guys from the paranormal and from even UFOs. Now, beyond my street life that I used to live and where I am now with my life, oh, I guarantee you there were some weird and creepy and bizarre things that I have experienced in life. And I know some people say, man, well, ghosts don't exist. But let me tell you something. If you were raised on going to church and raised on the Bible, then you really shouldn't question that, because they talk about the Holy Spirit. What are spirits? Spirits are ghosts. So that's something you guys may want to think about. So in this video, I got 7 different stories. And yes, I am over at another location filming. 1, I feel very private here. And 2, I actually like the way it feels. And also where I'm at is also kind of haunted within itself. And you guys will hear about that story in this video. And of course, throughout the editing, as you guys are going to see, 2 different angle shots. So with that being said, let's go ahead and, well, hop right into it. So a couple years ago, I'm going to say a couple years ago to play it safe, because I don't know exactly how long this may have took place. I do know I was still in school, and I think we were having company over, maybe after company, and I was in the living room, mother was in the kitchen, right? So she yells out, screaming, and she's like, "Were you just in the kitchen?" I'm like, "No, I've been in here the entire time." She's like, "Was you just in the kitchen?" I said, "No, I have been in here in the entire time, because I myself has been in the living room the entire time of this incident that definitely took place." So she's like, "Are you sure? Because I felt my hair in the back," which she has a ponytail, "and the back lift up and somebody felt like it's tug on it, but there was nobody there." And she was at the stove. Now our stove has like this black reflector mirror thing, and you can see people in it. Well, gotta remember, there was nobody there. She's just like, that was really odd, really creepy. The next part of this story, which would present itself maybe 2 years ago, at the most, 3 years at the most, at that. Mom was down in the basement, comes up, I heard something down there. I heard like a disemboweled growl. Now I investigated this, called whatever it was out down there, and I didn't really capture or hear anything, but I do remember a couple months, I do recall hearing the growl myself, but other than that, that was it, and I haven't heard anything else from that. One thing about our house, it is semi-haunted, but not fully as much anymore like it once was. When I used to do investigations and ghost huntings and explorings the real way, yes, I would bring things home to me. I would bring things back to the house I didn't know. I did encounter shadow people at times, noises, nothing too big, nothing too major at all. And a little FYI, these ghost videos that people see on YouTube, and I'm going to call out some of the main YouTubers, this is no disrespect, no shade to them. I do watch these people as well because I find them entertaining. And I am talking about, Mo Sargi, Oh My Gosh, and all those World TV. Not every place that you go to is going to be quote unquote haunted. You're not going to get thrown around. You're not going to get slapped or scratched. Like, oh my God, you feel that? No, you're not going to get loud booms like that. Not every place, again, is going to be haunted. Their viewers are for younger, much, way younger audience who are going to believe that. I've been around real hauntings and paranormals and my entire life, and I can tell you it's not like they give it out to be. So again, you can't believe everything that you see on the internet. I know with today's generation, well, if it ain't on video, it ain't real, or it didn't happen. Well, they've been doing that for a long time, and they're really good at what they do, which is editing and even visual effects. So you have to take that in mind. The next one from what you guys have seen, yes, is here, Columbia Mall. And let me tell you something. From Walmart to Columbia Mall to these neighborhoods was once an old Civil War battleground, where people have died at. And beyond that as well, there was an old Civil War graveyard site. And you can look up this information from your, local library if you stay here in town, to even Google. Me and my ex-best friend, he was on his phone and he Googled. He got bored, so he Googled this information, and we were out walking around. I'm like, yo, word? Because it explains why a lot of things happen here at times. For example, a story that definitely fits into this. It was in daytime, as you guys see, like this. There was people out. There were cars. And we were walking near the back part of the JCPenney's. And you know footsteps when you hear them. You know the sound of running when you hear it. Like heavy running. And it sounded so close to us, like really close. And it sounded a bit kind of like children's footsteps, right? Because back in them days, you guys got to remember, kids were recruited in the Civil War into army at such a young age and died at such a very young age too. So as soon as we turned around, there was nobody there. And guys got to remember, this is in broad day. These are when people are out. But the sound of these footsteps were that loud, were that clear as day, were coming that close to us from behind, to where, we turned around fast, because the sound of these running footsteps weren't the sound of something pleasant. If anything, it sounded like we were being charged at. And I do believe it might have been a ghost soldier. Somebody who doesn't know that they are, no longer amongst the living anymore. And I have investigated this mall before, especially during, not EVP sessions, but, I can't think of the name right now, but it's the device that with the needle jumps up. And let me tell you something. I was using my energy a lot. I got really heavy contact connections. And that meter jumped up so much to where I started getting sick. And when it comes to possession, again, it's not like what these YouTubers do. Possession doesn't work like that. Possession makes you sick. Possession, for a while, makes you paralyzed, like where you can't move. And you talk in different tongues, and you start to get violent verbally. My brother-in-law was once possessed and had to go through an exorcism. He was possessed by one of the 7 fallen angels. So there's that. The next story is going to be about Kroger's. I don't know how you would consider this being haunted or paranormal. I believe there might be something up with Kroger, because I remember one night, I was homeless, right? I'm at Kroger's at nighttime, and, And I talked to the manager. I'm like, look, I ain't got a place to go. I'm sorry if I'm being a bother right now, and I can leave. She's like, no, that's okay. There's something about Kroger's at night that gets very creepy, very, very eerie. Almost non-normal, if you will, if not normal at all. And, I say that because the people there at night, they're almost zombified like. And these are people that don't even look like they're on drugs either. Like completely not even there. And how quiet it is. I mean, you ask me, okay, is the store packed during the daytime more or at night? And it's going to be at night. And it was packed. But the quiet of it added onto that eeriness, that creepiness, and I can swear you could hear voices and you could feel being watched. Not by the people that were there though. It was definitely really eerie. Like, imagine your busiest stores in the daytime, right? You take that same amount of people, you put them into a store at night, let them do what they're going to do, but you don't have the radio on, you don't have the people talking, you have them moving around on foot with the carts, but they're not making a sound. You take the most quietest part of that. That's creepy right there. Again, I do believe there might be something with it. I don't know, and I'm not going to count it out. The next is a witch's brew. I'm not going to show the building because the building, from where it's at, it is a building of a place of business, and it used to be an old hotel a long time ago, and there's not that much research, not that much history, not that much stories, but there used to be a quote unquote a witch's cavern, if you will. There used to be a witch's cavern. If you guys don't know what a witch's cavern is, it used to be a place where witches, would go, and there used to be burnings in the square ones. Not too much on it, and about when it comes to this town, there's a lot of its dark history, a lot of its dark secrets. It's true haunted ghost stories, and a lot of much more scarier, untold, unsolved, forgotten documentations of unsolved murders and hauntings that this town likes to hide. And I know more than I should for my own good. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I got stories for days, man, about this town. I do. And a lot of people have never heard, because honestly, throughout time, you have a lot of people that do pass on and that do go away. And I do consider myself the last Columbia of this town, because I'm pretty much the historical person that loves to keep the history, because there is something here. I do believe this town is haunted, especially by the flood that took place in the 40s, because this Columbia is built on top of the old one. I would like to see the old one day, but I don't think there's a way to really see it.
This out. This is
the next is one that a lot of people do not know about from the picture you guys seen. That is the old abandoned Nashville Highway Bridge. I remember that bridge specifically. We used to call it the Suicide Bridge. Now, I don't know if that bridge is haunted or not. I didn't even think none of it was still left standing. There is somebody that has a video exploring it on YouTube, and it's called Columbia Abandoned Bridge, or Columbia, Tennessee Abandoned Bridge. It's one of those two titles. And I know that bridge very well because when I was younger growing up, and I used to live in a neighborhood where you could see that bridge perfectly, especially through it being an overpass, and you know, right under it was a part of the deepest part of Duck River where alligators used to be at once upon a time. And you would hear stories about people dumping people in Duck River, right? A lot of those wouldn't be insiders. A lot of them would be outsiders that would come here into town, you know, and do that and dump bodies. If it wasn't that, then it was people, you know, committing suicide. And, you know, I've seen some things like that where you had bodies being dumped and you had somebody with a rope tied around their neck jumping off the bridge and hanging themselves, or just jumping off it and then dying on impact. The bodies that would float up, you know, there wouldn't be much left of them because, again, you know, we used to have alligators before, and the bodies that would wash up on shore whatever left of them, if you will. And obviously you guys get the idea, you know, the alligators were chomping on them like crazy. So, you know, there's that. Again, it's something that a lot of people don't even know about because, again, these people that are here now in this town, they all came after, like, not even early, like, in the late, mid-2000s, man, till now. Only one person actually knows about it besides myself. Next is the Columbia Dam and the building right behind Columbia Dam, which is the brewing factory where they make beer. The Columbia Dam to the brewing factory, which you guys see, this town has a lot of history, and I talk about some of that history in past videos on this channel. This town, it's where the very first race riot started out at. It is where one of the biggest locations where racism of slavery began. The town next to us, Pulaski, is where the Klan first started at. So, from Long Island, New York, where the Indians first died, through the states leading up to Middle Tennessee is where, you know, slavery really first began at. Especially down here in the south in this town. You know, what I'm getting at, which goes into the story, you know, a lot of this is not going to be told in books. This is not. This is a very small, overlooked, poor town now. Very much so. It's videos that it had during its prime in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, especially videos and pictures. The town still has its local, you know, library, but they don't want that released. They don't. And with the dam and the brewing factory, especially that heavy part of Duck River that you guys see in that photos, they used to hang slaves. They used to hang slaves, and then during slavery, they still were hanging black people. That's where one of the locations of one of the so-called camps where the Klan stayed at and had operations ran. And then they used to cut the bodies down from the trees and just have them floating down that dam into the river. Now, how do I know this? Well, one, there's a video that somebody did who works in the brewing factory here in town talking about his experience of the paranormal that he's seeing take place in that brewing factory. If not, the back history of what that place used to be. That used to be one of the main hanging sources where they used to hang a lot of slaves, if not here in the square. And I do believe the courthouse, you know, is most definitely there to be considered haunted. That said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Again, these are stories that this town doesn't know about. A lot of the newcomers just don't know. A lot of it's dark history and secrets that the town likes to keep in silence, likes to keep hush. And I do consider myself a very historical person, and I know more than I should. That can get me into some heavy trouble. That's alright, man, because I feel like this does need to be shared. Again, I got a lot of these type of stories, man, for days. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little vlog video to this part, or towards the end of this video, right? You know, going back to what I said before, I know a lot of us, you know, watch a lot of these abandoned ghost hunting mansions that ChEDDErTarY, oh my gosh, All Those World TV does, and J Station. I'm only subscribed to 3 of them. I do find them entertaining. I do appreciate the videos that they do. However, they do mislead a lot of information. They do mislead a lot of their viewers, a lot of their fans. What I'm saying, this isn't no shade towards them. This isn't me dissing them. This isn't me, you know, downing them. No. Like, I am subscribed to 3 of them, which is ChEDDErTARY, oh my gosh, and All Those World TV. Now, they've been filming for years. They taught themselves how to edit as well. Even putting effects in the videos and blending them in to where you think there's something there. The type of stuff that they do, and I've seen videos about this where people do break down their videos and, you know, expose them to how they're fake and how they do their videos. And I agree with one part that yes, the so-called haunted videos that they do give a bad reputation to people that do urban exploring, to people that do actual paranormal ghost hunting videos, and then they say, well, this never happened in this video. Oh, this is supposed to happen. It happened in such and such's video. And that's the problem, because not every place that you go to is going to be haunted. Not every thing that you encounter is going to be a spirit, a ghost, or a demon. It's not going to work that way, none whatsoever. The same way when you do the Ouija boards. You know, there is a whole ritual and things you have to do before starting, and then certain things you have to do once you start. There is. So you're not always going to find yourself, quote unquote, haunted. You're not going to always find yourself possessed. You're not going to get things that are going to be moving around. You're not going to get things that are going to be slamming. You're not going to have these scratches and burn marks and say, oh my God, it's burning. No. I have been around the real paranormal like that. The only time is where, one, how you do become possessed is through negativity, is messing with things that, you know, you shouldn't mess with if you don't know what you're doing. That's one of them. You know, my brother-in-law once got possessed, and yes, an exorcism did have to take place, but it doesn't do to you what you guys see upon these YouTube videos. It's not how it works. If anything, it paralyzes your body, because you have another entity inside of you that your body doesn't recognize, and that your muscle strength and your tissues and your bones cannot move. You're not gonna be up attacking people. I know everyone watches those, Conjuring movies that's been out for so many years now. I watch them too. I like them. I find them entertaining, but that's not how it works. I'm sorry. That's not how any of it works. When getting scratches like that, you're not going to feel it. Matter of fact, you're not even going to know it's there until somebody points it out. It's not. You're not going to feel it. It's like a so-called burning sensation. No, it's not. You may get a burning red mark, but you ain't going to feel it. Especially when exploring a place and not knowing your background research and then throwing it out there with something random. That's just not how it works. And again, I am subscribed to those people because I find them entertaining, but you can't believe everything that you watch on YouTube with videos like that. You can't. It's not how it goes. It's not how it works. And because of what they do is why a lot of bad researchers do get bad reputations because of them. You do. You don't pass out and wake up somewhere random. That doesn't work. That doesn't happen. Do you get sick with stuff like that? Yes, that I'm not going to count out. You do get sick. You do. But I'm just letting you guys know, you can't believe in everything that you watch from them. They have, oh my gosh, actually got exposed for something like that. ChEDDErTarY has certain edit cuts that I notice and things that he throws in. And I'm not going to be talking about the famous video that he did, no. You can tell that was put together. But again, this is no shade towards them, but a lot of their younger audience is towards younger viewers, and you're not going to get objects and stuffed animals and do these rituals for something to be attached to, because there are certain things that you have to follow by in order for those things to happen. So you can't believe really a lot of their videos. I'm not saying don't watch them. Watch them. I watch them. But that's not how haunted and the paranormal works. It's not. And I actually have real paranormal investigation videos that I have done that if I'll try to link my playlist at the bottom of the description for you guys to check out. I'll have to try to remember, but I'm just letting you guys know. So this is a little vlog part towards the end of this video, and I'm out.